as we all already know, because we are the modern people, the right people, some may even say, and you chuds are obviously wrong, as always, by the way, we must depict women with absolute respect, unless we are the ones who are objectifying and disrespecting them and whatnot. And obviously, we need to portray them as close to reality as possible. Unless they're beautiful, obviously. In that case, we're gonna make it. We're gonna do some stuff, okay? We're gonna make it not beautiful. That's the plan. And everyone knows that this is true. Unless you are a bigot. You wouldn't want to be one of those things, right? You wouldn't want to be called Hot Lips Guy. Wait a minute. I'm his best guy. So, I guess here we are.
Marvel Rivals has been under attack from the Access media since this title's release, and it doesn't look like that's going to stop anytime soon. But months ago, The Gamer had written this massive hit piece on the game saying fans were so furious over its lack of queer couples, and now the developers...
Yes. All -5 of those players were so furious, in fact. So furious. I love how they just make stuff up. Fans mad. Gamers disgusted. Literally, you can't see that, but trust what they tell you, not your eyes.
Have addressed questions about this LGBTQ content, and they basically said, yeah, we just want to put what we want in the game, and there are some sensitive snowflakes melting down over this. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon.
Oh. Well, anyway, boys, remember, like the video right now. It takes less than a second, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for everyone who does it. It truly makes a difference. And if you think this stuff is important, definitely like and subscribe right now. Takes less than a second. Thank you, everyone.
YouTube memberships. Now, I don't think that the developers had to make this statement. They didn't have to talk to the gamer. Maybe they felt this would bring them in a few extra bucks. Who knows? But the problem is that the wokies that are against them do not forgive and they do not forget. Even if tomorrow they made every single character LGBTQIA plus XYZ, the media would still say, well, we remember that you didn't have these characters in the game in the first place. We remember you didn't cater to us months ago, so we're still not going to purchase your product. And really,
I mean, there is literally no situation where the modern audience does purchase your product in general. So that's kind of a fallacy, to be honest. Nothing will ever make these people purchase your product because it turns out being an activist doesn't exactly pay a lot most of the times, and when typically these people do get money, needless to say, they're horrible with their money, and they waste it on stuff even more useless than gaming, technically, if you want to put it like that. So, these people were never gonna support you in the first place. They were never gonna buy your product. We have seen this so many times. They just want a virtue signal. If you can create something that these people can virtue signal about, they're gonna do it. But the moment it requires commitment, or actually, well, anything, honestly, above just saying current thing good, it falls apart because they will never support it. They will never do it.
What the developers are doing is saying they are more concerned with making a good game instead of a game that pushes a certain agenda. And this is not the answer that some snowflakes wanted. So there was this exclusive interview they did where it says Marvel Rivals devs respond to the game's lack of queer content. We always take inspiration from the relationships in Marvel Comics. Imagine getting to sit...
Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Modern comics is pretty much only woke crap.
Down with the Marvel Rivals developers, and instead of asking them about their plans for the future of the game and characters they want to add and how they want to expand and grow their player base, you ask them about the lack of queer content. It just goes to show that the people that are writing these articles, these journalists, are more focused with politics instead of good entertainment.
Oh.
I understand maybe asking them like one question like, "Hey, do you know that there has been a small group of people requesting more of this content on social media?" But that's not what they did.
No, 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 no. No one's actually even requesting it. That's the thing. This is completely made up. This is not real to begin with. No one's requesting that. Even those people are not really requesting that. They don't care, probably.
And they wrote an entire article about this. So it says Marvel Rivals fifth season, the season of love started with promise. It canonized the Loki and Mantis ship and introduced the power couple Rogue and Gambit to the game. But while many enjoyed
Power couple Lamau, Loki and Mantis ship even more Lamau, I guess.
Rivals Love Fest, its queer community had concerns. The game made small
It's non-existent community that was completely made up on the spot for this article had magical non-existential concerns. God, and the funny part is, PC gamers still probably versed in this.
references to queer relationships within the game's universe, like Angela mentioning her spouse by name during in game banter, but never explicitly stating they were married. But it paled in comparison to the amount of screen time that Marvel's heterosexual couples receive. Yeah, probably because
Oh no! Representing the supermajority of the human population. What a tragedy.
80% of the world's population is heterosexual, and really, I think it's higher, like 90%. But there are opportunists out there who claim they are a different sexuality in order.
I personally think claiming that just because of clout is disgusting. As a black woman, I obviously don't agree with these things. Canon, by the way, canon. No one can even call me out, bro. I have 2 years of claiming that I'm a black trans woman. What you gonna do, bro? I choose to not use the N-word, even though I can.
To open up career paths for them and opportunities for them in the world, but you're really shocked that they want to quote unquote pander to the majority of the people in the world. Plus, you are talking about NetEase here, a Chinese company. Do you really think a
No.
CCP entity is worried about pandering to a very small group of people? No, of course not. If you want queer couples, go and play a different game. I mean, hell, even go play something like Apex Legends that does have a lot of LGBT
True, and the Apex Legends grab goes not burr, it goes, what is the opposite of burr?
relationships.
Womp
In an
womp?
exclusive interview with the gamer discussing all things about Rival's first anniversary, the development team at NetEase suggested that it wasn't necessarily intentional and they just pick the hero combinations according to what fits perfectly with a new season's theme. They go on to say Marvel Rivals' lack of queer representation is due to what fits perfectly with a season's theme, says NetEase. When we're
Oh,
designing and introducing new
they
heroes,
mad.
we always take inspiration from the character relationships in the Marvel comics, and when we have a good season theme coming up, we'll pick our hero combinations according to what fits perfectly with the theme. That rings true with the Season of Love's introduction of Rogue and Gambit, but it avoids the fact that overt queer relationships are clearly absent. Unfortunately, due to the nature of the interview being a one-shot email, we couldn't quickly follow up on the question. However, we did send a follow-up request based on this, and they say that Rivals features many prominent LGBTQ plus characters, but this still isn't good enough for them. You are literally sitting here saying,
It's never good enough for them.
yeah, it's filled to the brim with the characters I like, but it's not enough and I demand more. This is why nobody takes these outlets seriously anymore. The Kotakus, the Polygons, the gamers, you guys are absolute jokes. And this has led to a lot of people on social media who don't actually play this game.
That's my girl, by the way. Okay, listen. The hierarchy is very simple. Emma Frost, Scarlet Witch, Polaris, Psylocke, Kitty. Okay? It's a very simple hierarchy. Very simple, in fact, okay? And, depending on the time of day, Jean Grey is also up there. And, there are other obviously good choices, okay? But that is... Emma Frost will always be at the absolute top of the hierarchy.
Care about the video game industry saying it's not good enough and we need to cancel them over this. Queer people are not a theme. You even added a canonical lesbian to your game already, and when you were doing a love themed season, you gave her nothing and created some fuck ass Scarlet Witch and Venom ship instead. It's homophobia. That's
Nice.
all. We draw inspiration from the comics, but you put Venom and Wanda in the intro animation to the love themed season instead of representing the canon lesbian character Angela. And if they didn't want to put in non playable characters, they could have just
Angela was actually, I did not know.
put in Eddie and
Don't
Venom.
care.
Queer people are constantly deprived any representation because it might upset a bunch of bigots.
Not enough?
Representation matters, and we deserve better from these fuck-ass companies. Entire season about love, netties, yeah, but we have to stay on theme, so yeah, sorry, no LGBT stuff for you. I'm not surprised since it's a Chinese company. Watch them.
This is even more pathetic than the ice thing in America, by the way. Because I love it. It's like, there are a couple of people who are saying, oh, this is bad. You can see that they're reaching so hard. They're making still screenshots of available videos that clearly show the opposite happening. And they're like demanding, you need to not believe your eyes. You need to believe our lies. That's what they always do. It's beautiful. No one cares about any of this.
Not do anything for Pride either. Yeah, again, all you do by adding in these different events.
By the way, I absolutely love how China is good, but now China is bad. That's my favorite thing, by the way, about places like China that has communism. It's like, China is so good, but then this happens and China is bad. It's like, bro, pick one, okay? You can't have China good, but this is bad, because this is what China is going to enforce if you support it.
Based on all of these days is divide your player base. I wouldn't want a straight Pride Day, so why is it you need a gay Pride Day? Is it really that serious? Doing mental gymnastics just because you don't want to put a real queer content and representation in the game. And while there are a lot
Oh, stay based, Marvel Rivals. Stay absolutely based. These people are gonna just cope and seed and cope as always. 10 out of 10. You know what's the funniest part? Marvel Rivals is still doing absolutely good. Marvel Rivals Steam DB. Let's look at the chart real quick, because Marvel Rivals is still popping off. Like, look at this. Yeah, I'm gonna share the screen. Give me a second. And there we go. Look at this. 76% positive review score on Steam. All-time peak of 644,000. And currently, it has 42,000 players. And that is... that is like 6.2% player attention. Not the greatest, but I mean, look at this. This is a game that came out in November 2024. It's already a year old. And look at this. It has been pretty consistent with this amount of players. Oh, wait, I'm currently players now, and this is not peak time. Lamau, I'm an idiot. Oh my god, I almost did not know this. I was looking at this number, and I'm like, wait a minute. Something ain't right here. So, this game literally has 16.2 almost percent retention rate after a year. This is really good numbers. Look at this rogue. I love her. Anyway, yeah, 16.2% retention rate. Even if at 42%, the game is actually still popping off and it's still good. Now, granted, the hype has passed, but look at this. This game has survived literally for a year and more at this point, and it's still doing fine. Absolutely fine. And these people are like, let's ruin it. Okay, go for it, like I cared. No one's gonna listen to you anyway. Anyway, 10 out of 10, that was Mommy Very Dark. Bye!